Hello everyone, my name is Gina and I would like to officially welcome you to Season Beauties. If you haven't been here before, thank you so much for deciding to come and spend some time with me on today. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. Much love to you. And if you are currently not subscribed to this channel, I ask you to hit that subscribe button below. Become a part of the Season Beauties family. We would love to have you. Well, the reason for this video is, of course, what you saw in the description box and just a little bit of a recap. And yes, I did write some notes because I needed to make sure I remembered as much as I could about what happened. However, just a recap on, I was actually scheduled for the SCS, which is the Spinal Cord Stimulator trial, on the 18th. However, they did call and reschedule it for the 19th. And so I went down to have this procedure done, of which I have to tell you the truth, I was really excited about getting done. I spent a lot of years in a lot of pain, and I was excited to not have that feeling anymore. Okay, I'm just saying. Now, I apologize for the outside noise, but I do have the window open in here. I just kind of needed some fresh air to blow through. So, just a couple of disclaimers before we go into all of this particular information. This that I'm sharing with you today is my experience, okay? And it may, I'm pretty sure it's not typical to anyone else based on some of the things that I am going to share with you in this video, okay? And everybody's experience, of course, we all want the same outcome, but there are a lot of determining factors that would associate your experience, okay? So, my procedure took place at, all I'm going to say is in Maryland, okay? And so I had a wonderful doctor. I had a wonderful nurse. And I also had a very wonderful representative from Boston Scientific, okay, which was the manufacturer of the spinal cord stimulator trial that I was participating in, okay. I just want to set up the day, you know, for you. I had such a warm and calm atmosphere. My doctor was amazing. She asked me some questions. She asked me what type of music I liked, and of course I told her I love Christian music, I like old school, and I like jazz. And so she says, oh, okay, can I play one of my favorites for you? I said, okay. Lo and behold, she had Ella Fitzgerald playing in the room. Not loud, just nice and soft. It was just the right kind of atmosphere. And so I was feeling rather relaxed, okay? And so the day before the surgery, I was told that I needed to take diazepam, which is the generic version of Valium, and I was taking two 2-milligram tablets. They gave me a succession in which to take it, and so what I was told is that this my doctor wanted me to be very, very relaxed and calm for this, because this is not a procedure that they put you out for, because you have to be able to tell them what you're feeling, how it feels, okay, when it starts and when it stops. So those were the kinds of things that I had to be able to share. So no, they do not put you under. So I just happened to I'd taken the Valium the way that they did tell me, which was to take one hour before I left my home, and then a half an hour before my surgery was to begin. And it just so happens that I was still experiencing some pain, big time. And so I talked to the nurse. I said, I really need to take this. She said, well, you can take your medicine the way you're supposed to, but you are not supposed to eat before any surgery. And if I take this type of pain medication on an empty stomach, trust me, the results aren't good. So she did say, go ahead and take it. And I said, okay, that was fine. So the numbing agent that was used for this particular surgery, I'm not going to say surgery, I'm going to say procedure, was lidocaine, okay? And so this is how it began, all right? So went through all of those things, and she let me know when, you know, the needle would be excuse me, when the needle would be going in, and to prepare myself for the pinch, you know, of the needle, which would allow for the numbing agent to go in. So we did that. Now, I had a little bit of a challenge because I have such a deep curve in my back. And so they did put some pillows. They made me lift up, and they put pillows, made me lay on some pillows, so that would kind of decrease the curve for, you know, better threading. Okay, so she did do that, and which it wasn't uncomfortable or anything. They still made sure everything was nice and sterile, all those different kinds of things. So what she did was, at that point, she, as in the doctor, she tried to insert the needle so that they could thread the wires. I'm going to probably insert here a picture of what the spinal cord stimulator actually looks like, okay, so you'll kind of understand what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, and so for some reason she was not able to take it in deep enough. Okay, she was not comfortable, which meant the placement wouldn't be ideal. Okay, and she wanted it to be ideal for somebody who's been experiencing pain, you know, like this. As with any of, you know, their patients, I'm sure that's what they would want the final outcome to be. Well, it just did not seem to go in, so she decided, you know, maybe we need to try a different area. Tried several times in several locations. The T11 and 12 region, the L2 and 3 region, and none of which were successful, is really what it comes down to. The pain was, I could feel, you know, like the zings, or as that's what they call it, kind of that twingy thing, okay, or, you know, like a dull pain going through. And then it just was not working the way it should have. So she said she would try a different type of needle. She did not want me to have to go through all of these things and still walk out of there in the same condition that I was when I came in. So they tried 3 different types of needles, a long one, short one, and one that was curved on the end in all the same spots, none of which worked. None of which worked. So she told me there seemed to be a blockage of some type somewhere where this was not going through in these locations, or they couldn't get it, the piece to thread it in far enough so that I would have a successful stimulator implant. So after that, she said, you know, this is just terrible. I don't want you to end up feeling like a human pincushion. The choice is yours. If you want us to stop, we will stop. I said, look, after all of the years that I've gone through this type of pain, come on, let's do one more, you know, can't hurt. And I did ask if she felt like she would really be able to accomplish this on the last go around, to which she said yes. And I agreed. I said, okay, then, you know, if you really believe that you can get it done this time, then you go right ahead. So she tried one last time. However, through all of this, I am starting to feel the pain more and more. So she has put more and more lidocaine. She says, you know what, we can't get to the point where, you know, she has too much or she ODs on lidocaine, so they're going to have to stop. You know, this was going to be the last try. If they couldn't get it, that was going to be it. She tried the last location, and this was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to pause for a second. And y'all didn't even tell me my hair was on, my scarf was looking all crazy and not anything. But so anyway, the best way for me to describe it was, it felt like fireworks. You know, when you are at the 4th of July celebration and it's the last one, and you see just coming straight up in the sky, and then boom, you know, you see all those pretty colors, and you know, it stretches out really, really bright. Well, that's what it felt like, what you see, and that was the way in which that pain exploded. I don't have any other way that I can think of to describe it. That is what it was like. And so I just said, you know, I can't. At first I was like, okay, just give me a minute. I'm sure I can get it under control. And it stopped for a few minutes, and then it was doing it again. She said, okay. And next thing I knew, I said, but it's gone now. She said, that's because I pulled it out. That was probably the worst. I don't ever think I can remember a time when pain was that bad. I cannot. So at this particular point, they just said, okay, we're stopping. The representative from Boston Scientific says to me, you know what, if anybody ever tells you you're 1 in a million, believe them. You are 1 in a million. And I'm sitting there going, is that an insult, or is that a compliment, or what? I'm not too sure. I know. But anyway, I appreciated them trying to, you know, lighten the mood. And then, you know, the nurse said to me, I don't understand this. She said, because as many of these as I have sat in on, I have never seen this before. The areas when they were putting the needle in to try to thread it, they would say, she said, you should be feeling this in the bottom of your foot, and you were feeling nothing. I felt nothing. I don't know what was going on, but they seem to think it's some type of blockage in here somewhere. So at this particular point, everything is on hold until I can get another MRI done of the thoracic region, so they can see what's going on in between, you know, the base where I have the challenge and up top. So I'm like, okay, that'll be fine. So at this particular point, they're believing if I have to go through that and they do find a blockage, the only way that I'll actually be able to get this done is if they completely sedate me. And I'm not sure I want that to be the case. Not sure I want that to be the case. So it was just very, very difficult once I left. My husband and I, you know, they wouldn't let me leave without, of course, being in a wheelchair. So, you know, we rolled down in a wheelchair. My husband decided we were going to take an Uber back. And so I had the most amazing driver. She was wonderful. And she was so wonderful because when I got downstairs and she actually pulled up, she looked like my sister. She looked like, she looked like my older sister. And I said to her, I said, once we got in the car and we were heading back, I said, you know, you look just like my sister. I said, but you might be just a tad taller than she was. And she kind of pepped up. She was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, but my sister's about 4'11". And then her smile went away. She said, I am 4'11". So, but that was a good thing, you know, to kind of see that. I kind of, you know, felt a little bit of relief, so to speak, you know. And when I got back, you know, well, actually on the way back, my husband and I kind of talked about a couple of things, you know, that had happened during this procedure. He's not a big fan of me getting this done again. And I understand. I understand it was a lot, but I also don't want to live the rest of my life taking this kind of medication. This is just too much. It's too much. It's very, very high doses of medicine. And, you know, plus I wear a pain patch every day. So it's a little challenging. It's a little challenging. But I do want to say, for those of you who do, you know, get the SCS done, trust me, for them to say I'm one in a million, this is very, very rare. And even since then, I've talked to my brother, who actually had a person on his job who went through the same exact surgery, came out just fine. And I'm not talking about months ago. I'm talking about the same week I had mine done. So I'm not sure why this happened. All I know is God must have something so much better for me. That's the only way I can look at it. Because even now, sitting here, the pain can be excruciating, and I do feel it out of that one side, you know, to the point where it kind of paralyzes me for a few seconds because the pain is so bad I can't move. So I'm hoping that this will soon pass. I'm hoping that this will very soon pass. I am hoping that this will immediately pass. This is uncomfortable. But I do have, and even for those who successfully have this surgery done, this right here is amazing. You need to get one of these. You need to get one of these pillows, okay? You need one of these in your life. They are amazing. They help so much because you, in some cases, can't really, you know, lay down flat on your back. This has just the right amount of cushion on it, so, and it has the armrest. So it kind of takes that pressure off the back, okay? And this is where I am currently sitting, so. But I just wanted to, as I promised that I would, you know, let you know exactly what it was that I did go through. Now the operative word is I went through it. I'm not stuck in that. I went through it. I'm coming out on the other side. Now after I go and get my MRI done, and if they do reschedule, we'll be back on. I'll let you know what happens from there on out. So just want to say to you, thank you so much for spending some time with me on today. I apologize if it went on a little longer or if I was rambling a little too much. My apologies. Now, just remember, regardless of the season that you are in, you will always be a seasoned beauty. So, until next time.